Have you ever been so tired that even blinking feels like a workout? Like your soul is buffering and all you want is to hit Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete on your entire life? That's the kind of tired I'm talking about. Not just, I didn't sleep well, tired, but the kind that comes from carrying invisible backpacks full of emotional bricks for years without even realizing it. If that resonates with you even a little, then this message found you for a reason. Because today, we're not just talking about sleep, we're talking about rest. Real rest. The kind that doesn't just patch up your body, but gives your spirit a deep, heartfelt hug and says, "Hey, we're good now." I mean the kind of rest so deep it feels like a full life reboot, a new tab, a fresh start. The kind where, for a moment, you wake up and forget you were ever stressed. That kind of magic. But before we go deeper, let me ask, have you ever opened your fridge 17 times hoping something new would magically appear? Like maybe a cheesecake fairy snuck in? That's what we do with rest too. We keep checking our lives for peace, hoping it'll just show up. But true peace, real rest, it doesn't knock like the Amazon guy. You have to invite it in. And if your idea of resting is doom scrolling until your eyeballs burn or binge watching 5 seasons just to outrun your thoughts, then yeah, we've got to talk. Let me tell you a story. There was once a village where people carried heavy, rusty buckets of water up a hill every single day. No breaks, no breathers, just hustle. Sound familiar? One day, a quiet old man came to town. Calm and slow, like a walking yawn, he built a small fountain in the center and put up a sign. Sit, drink, breathe. That's it. Most ignored him, too busy being overwhelmed. But those who sat, even for 5 minutes, began to change. They walked lighter, smiled more, not weirdly, just peacefully. The water wasn't magic. It was the pause. It was permission. Because sometimes what fixes us isn't doing more, it's doing nothing on purpose. I get it. The world screams that rest is lazy. That if you're not grinding 24/7, you're falling behind. But behind what exactly? A race no one remembers? Even phones have low power mode. Even God took a day off. And you're out here thinking naps are weakness? No. Naps are rebellion in a world that wants you burn out. Rest says, I'm not a machine. Rest says, I don't need to earn my worth. Rest says, screw the hamster wheel, I'm lying down. And let's be real, it's hard to rest when your mind is loud. You lie down and suddenly your brain's like, wanna overthink your entire existence right now? And you're like, sure, sounds fun. That's why real rest isn't just closing your eyes, it's opening your heart. It's letting go. Releasing all the junk you've been carrying that was never even yours. The guilt, the pressure, the expectations, let them go. Let them melt off of you like a hoodie in summer. Not all of that weight belongs to you. Sometimes the deepest rest is sitting in silence and not trying to fix anything, just breathing, just being, without a to-do list stapled to your forehead. You don't have to climb a mountain to deserve rest. You just have to be human. That's it. You don't need candles, spa music, or rose petals from an enchanted forest. Sometimes deep rest looks like turning off your phone and staring at a tree like it's Netflix. Sometimes it's canceling plans, becoming a blanket burrito, or crying on the floor, and letting that be enough. And if no one has told you this lately, let me be the one to say it, it's okay to stop. Not forever. Not because you've given up. But because you're human, and you're allowed to pause, to recharge, to come back to yourself. You're not a robot. You're not a productivity app. You're a person, a messy, brilliant, tired, beautiful person. And you deserve rest, not as a reward but as a right. Remember when we were kids and people forced us to nap? We'd be mid-crayon masterpiece or plotting world domination with stuffed animals, and boom, someone would scoop us up and say, nap time. We'd fight it like tiny warriors. But now we're adults, and no one picks us up. No one tucks us in or whispers, you've done enough today. Instead, we get burnout. And still, we treat rest like a luxury instead of what it really is, survival. So let me be that voice for you, the one that drowns out your inner critic and says, "You've done enough today." Even if all you did was survive. Even if your brain felt foggy and your heart felt heavy. Even if your biggest achievement was changing into a clean hoodie. Even if the dishes are still waving at you from the sink. Even if your to-do list is side-eyeing you like a disappointed teacher. You are still worthy of rest. There's this beautiful idea that rest isn't the absence of effort, it's the presence of peace. It's not about stopping because you failed. It's about pausing because you deserve to breathe. And that peace? It won't always come with candles and ocean sounds. Sometimes, it shows up right in the middle of your chaos and says, "Hey, sit down. I've got you." Because peace doesn't come from perfect conditions. It comes from choosing yourself. You don't need permission. You don't need to earn it. You just need to remember who you are beneath the pressure, beneath the roles and responsibilities and endless expectations. You are not your job, not your inbox, not your productivity, not your performance, not your past. You are a soul, a story, a freaking miracle in socks. And that is reason enough to rest. So today, or tonight, whenever this finds you, I want you to do something radical. Rest like it's sacred. Rest like it's holy. Rest not as a break from being human, but as part of what makes you human. Rest like it's your birthright. Like it's the medicine you forgot you needed. Rest so deeply your bones whisper, "Thank you." So deeply your spirit unclenches. So deeply your whole being finally exhales. Because this isn't just about being less tired. This is about coming home to yourself. Reintroducing yourself to that quiet, steady version of you that still exists beneath the noise. That soft inner center that never cared how much you got done. The part of you that always knew you were never meant to be this hard on yourself. You were meant to feel, not just produce. Maybe, just maybe, you'll realize the peace you've been chasing was never out there. It's always been here. In the pause. So close your eyes. Breathe deeper than you have all week. Let the noise fade. Let the stillness take the wheel. And remember, rest isn't a break from your life. It's the part that makes life work. I'll see you on the other side of the pause, still you. Just lighter. Warmer. Rested. Like you finally hit reset, and remembered who you've been all along. Rest isn't selfish, it's sacred. You don't need to earn it through exhaustion or justify it with burnout. You deserve to pause simply because you exist. The world will keep spinning even if you sit still for a while. Let it. The emails will still be there, the notifications can wait, but your peace cannot. You've been treating joy like a reward when maybe it's been a requirement all along. Maybe softness isn't weakness but wisdom, and slowing down is one of the bravest things you can do. You don't always need to push through. Sometimes, the healing begins when you pull back. Your body remembers every time you ignored its quiet cry, every time you chose pressure over presence. And still, your body forgives you. Your heart forgives you. They just want you to come home. And home isn't a destination, it's the moment you decide you are enough. Not because you checked every box, but because you woke up. Because you tried. Because you're still here. You've survived 100% of your hardest days so far, and that matters. That means something. That means everything. Rest doesn't mean quitting, it means pausing, long enough to breathe, long enough to simply be. You are not lazy for needing a break. You are not broken because you're tired. The world often demands too much and gives too little, but your worth was never meant to be measured in tasks completed. You're allowed to opt out of the hustle, to step off the treadmill, to be soft in a world that celebrates sharp edges. The grind will never love you back, but your peace will. And peace doesn't come screaming. It arrives quietly, gently, waiting for you to stop running. What if you gave yourself permission to rest? Permission to nap, to say no, without guilt, to log off, to cancel plans, to be still without explaining. The sun doesn't apologize for setting, and the moon never begs to shine. Nature knows how to rest. So why don't you? You are nature too. You're part of the same rhythm, the same rising and falling, ebbing and flowing. You are allowed to fall apart and begin again. You are allowed to feel deeply and slow down. You are not behind, you are healing. And healing isn't neat. It's messy, holy, exhausting, and sacred. It doesn't need to look impressive, it just needs to be real. You don't have to get everything right, you just have to keep going with honesty. And maybe that honesty starts with rest. With stopping. With releasing. With finally letting yourself unclench. Rest is where the masks fall away. Rest is where you remember who you were before the world told you who to be. So if today, all you do is choose to sit, to breathe, to be, then that is enough. You are enough. And in this pause, this stillness, this radical act of choosing yourself, you are healing more than you know. Because peace isn't found in perfection, it's found in permission. The permission to just exist. Quietly. Softly. Freely.